Hi friends, I hope you're doing well. It's that time of year again, our favorite time of year where we get to save some money on makeup. The Sephora Savings Event is happening very soon, actually tomorrow if you're watching this on upload day. Yeah, it starts on October 27th and goes till November 6th. All you have to do is use the code time to save at checkout, and you can use that code in stores as well. Sephora does this twice a year. This time of year is my favorite because I like to prep for holidays. But anyways, insiders get 10% off starting on the 31st. VIB members get 15% off starting on the 31st. And then if you're a Rouge, you get first access and it starts on the 27th. I'll have everything down below for you guys, but I wanted to kind of recommend my favorite products and also tell you guys what I've been wishing for. Like, I have quite a hefty wish list this year actually, especially moving into Christmas. There's a few things that I feel like I will save for my husband to wrap for me. But anyway, when thinking about this video, I wanted to picture me taking you shopping. I've done this before, but I feel like it's a really good way for me to narrow down things that I would recommend to you guys. So picture us, me and you, we're going to Sephora, and these are the things that I would genuinely buy for you. I would take you around the store and show you all of these things. So I basically have at least one thing per category. There's some that I have a couple of things for, which I will tell you why I have a couple of things, you know, and if we were shopping together, I feel like I would let you pick what felt more like you. But anyway, we're gonna start with complexion and move all the way to setting spray. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get to it. I would first recommend a sunscreen because everybody needs a good sunscreen. It's something that works well on your makeup. I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to mention it again. The Summer Fridays Shadedrops. This is incredible. I'm almost out of mine. Luckily, I do have a backup, but this is something that I would definitely put in your basket. Even if you said you didn't need it, I would put this in the basket to buy for you because if you haven't tried this yet, it's my favorite sunscreen of all time. This is fantastic. It's a mineral sunscreen. Again, it works beautifully underneath makeup, which I always look for. And it's also great for like every day. Even on no makeup days, I reach for this. It's fantastic. I love it. For foundation, if you were looking for a new foundation, if you hadn't ever tried the Nars Light Reflecting, I would buy this for you first. You guys know this is my #1 foundation. It just looks good no matter what. I love how versatile it is. I can use this for every day, all the way up to a more glam look. So if you haven't tried this, I would recommend this. If you've tried this and you're like, no, I want to try something different, I would then recommend the Haus Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. This is so beautiful as well. I love this one. This one actually took me a while to end up loving. A little goes a long way. At first, when I first used it, I used way too much and didn't like it. And then when I scaled back a little bit, I ended up absolutely loving it. So a little goes a long way with this. It's beautiful. You guys know I love this one as well. If you're like, Allie, I already have both those foundations because I've talked about them so many times, I would give you a brand new recommendation that I haven't even put in a favorites video yet, but spoiler, it's coming. I would splurge, okay? Because if there's a time to splurge, it's during the Sephora Savings Event. So I would get you the Guerlain Terracotta Le Tint Foundation. This is so beautiful. This is actually what I'm wearing today. I have really, really loved this. It's become a new favorite. It's something that I'm like excited to wear. This is a foundation that I discovered in my Allure Best of Beauty award video where I try out, you know, award winners. This one in the splurge category. There's just something so nice about this. It really wears well. It applies well. It's not too thick, not too thin. There's a slight fragrance to it, but it doesn't last on the skin, which is so nice. Their previous Guerlain foundation was the one in like the funky bottle. I bought it and it was like pretty thick and pretty fragranced. I don't think they make that anymore. I remember the formula being okay, but this is like way better. They like redid their foundation, brought it back. I don't know if it's similar or if the base formula is similar or anything like that. It might be completely new. I'm not sure. Regardless, it's a great new foundation and, you know, makes you feel fancy. I do wish that this lid stayed on a little better. That's just me being extra picky. But anyway, I would buy you that if you wanted to try something brand new. For concealer, there's really 2 concealers at Sephora that I'm wearing nonstop. The first one being the Givenchy Prism Libre Skincare Concealer. This stuff is so good. It has a beautiful, really thin consistency, but still gives you really nice coverage. Just kind of melts into the skin and looks like skin, which is so great. I use 2 shades, N80 and N95. I mix the 2. This is beautiful. So I would give you this if you're not really a huge, like, I don't want to say heavy concealer girly. Like if you want something super lightweight and very skin-like looking, I would buy you that. If you're somebody who loves concealer, I would buy you the Natasha Denona concealer. This stuff is so good. I'm wearing this today. It's just beautiful. It reminds me a little bit of the Nars concealer. It has a little bit more of like that tacky finish, which is a good thing, but it blends out like a dream. It really like melts into the skin as well, but it gives great coverage. So this is definitely more of a thick consistency versus the Givenchy, but I don't want that to scare you. Like it's a really beautiful skin-like concealer as well, just a little more heavy duty, not heavy looking, but it covers a little bit more than the Givenchy one and just is a little more versatile and long wearing, I would say. Both of them are beautiful, but anyway, love them both. I use the shade N1 and P1 the most, but I would throw either one of these in the cart depending on your vibe. But those are like my go-to concealers from Sephora at the moment. Then we would walk on over to the Milk makeup stand, okay? And I would buy you a contour stick from Milk Makeup. There is something I'm obsessed with about this Milk Sculpt Stick in Toasted. It's teensy. This looks like a mini size, but it's actually the full size. There's quite a bit of product in here. This is what I use to sculpt the face today. It is so beautiful and just like really travel friendly. You still get a lot of product in here. There's just something about the formula that I love. So if you've never tried this, I would throw this in the basket to buy for you. If you wanted to feel a little bit bougie, I would buy you the Westman Atelier contour stick. I've talked about this as well. It's just one of those things that like works so beautifully. It is pricey. It's like stupidly pricey actually, but the formula, I cannot deny, it is so good. It's so beautiful. This blends itself out. The color is phenomenal as well. I feel like the colors are pretty similar. I would say the Milk one is a little bit more cool toned, a little more like sculpting than this one. The shade I use is Biscuit. I mean, they both really do sculpt the face. This one has a little bit, like a little more warmth. But anyway, love both of these. I would buy you one or the other. I don't think you need both. If you're really feeling it, honestly, if I just went off of formula, not price, I would say go with the Westman Atelier. But this one is a very, very, very close second. So you don't have to spend an arm and a leg, okay, for a contour stick. But if you're feeling like it, this one's amazing. I also wanted to talk about a brush. I never talk about brushes, but this is one that I cannot put down. It's so good. This Hourglass foundation brush, you guys, I'm using it every single day. There's something about the shape of it that I absolutely love. There's something about it for foundation and concealer that I cannot get enough of. So if you're gonna, buy a brush, you might as well buy it when you can save a bit on it. So wanted to mention that one as well. You guys know when it comes to powder, there's one powder and one powder only that I really feel like I would recommend till the end of time. At this point, I've been using it nonstop for years now. It's the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. It's just so good. I can't say enough good things. My top two shades are Sugar Cookie and Cupcake. If you haven't tried these yet, I would buy you these, if we were shopping together. And I would also make sure to buy one of these for you to go with it. There's something so magical about this. If you want to look airbrushed, but like realistic, the combo of this, I'm telling you, it's insane. It's so beautiful. People are scared of powder, but I'm telling you, you should not be scared of powder. And people are probably scared of puffs with powder because, it feels like something that would pack on more product than maybe you want. But I'm telling you, if you want to look absolutely airbrushed, but still also flawless and not heavy or cakey in real life, pair this with this, and I'm telling you, it's a freaking dream. It's so beautiful. This time of year is always my favorite for Hourglass face palettes. I know you guys are the same. These palettes launch every year and they're just something so special. I will say I still love the ones from last year a little bit better. That elephant palette is like everything to me. However, this one right here, the jellyfish one, is from this year's launch. These are limited edition. They did bump up the price actually versus last year. These are now $90. I think they used to be like 85 or 80 something. I'm not quite sure. So they are a little more expensive than they used to be, but you might as well save a little during the savings event. So, if you haven't tried Hourglass, period, I would buy you one of these. If you are into these palettes, just a reminder, this is a great time to check them out. And if we were shopping together, I feel like I would buy you one of these, whatever one you like. This one is the one that I get the most use out of because this one's geared toward more light skin tones, but they did kindly send me all three this year, which I was so excited about. Last year, they sent me a couple and I ended up buying the third one because I just love these so much. Here is the Snake palette just for reference. So this one's more of like the medium skin tone palette. And then we have the Jaguar one. Jaguar? I don't know how you say that. Wait, no. Did I say that backwards? Hold on. No, okay. Okay, I had that mixed up. This one's actually the medium. This one's more of the deep palette. So you can see that right there. I really love using these obviously on the face, but you can use them anywhere. I love creating eye looks with these as well. So they're amazing. I don't know. I just wanted to make sure to mention that. And I really do love the jellyfish packaging this year. I've been using this like crazy. This bronzer is what I've got all over the face today. And a little bit of this blush right here kind of popped on the cheeks at the top. So wanted to mention that one. This is like a little hidden gem. This is something that I discovered because of Katie Jane Hughes, and I love this. It's Tom Ford. So I felt almost like guilty for buying it in the first place because, you know, I do love makeup. I really do. And I spend a ridiculous amount of money on products that, you know, I feel like I would really enjoy. It's just where I love to spend my money. So even for me, this was like, is this a dumb purchase? But actually it was not. I really, really love this. This is the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Highlighting Duo. We're all probably familiar with the cream contour and highlighting duo from Tom Ford, but I've never really heard people talk about this one before Katie Jane Hughes. The way that she uses this is insane, and it actually made me want to buy it in the first place. She'll actually take this bottom shade and a little of the top, and then just like dust it over top of where you apply bronzer, and it makes the skin look like silk. For some reason, it seems absolutely against my nature at first to take like a highlighter and put it all over my forehead. Cause you know, initially I felt like it was gonna emphasize fine lines, but it doesn't. It literally just smooths everything out and makes me look so healthy, like lit from within. You can also use this as like a highlight. I do have a little bit of that on the cheeks as well, but like, you know, it's one of those things that's like, it's probably not a need. It's really not. But if you're somebody who like is a makeup artist, you like finding those little super unique products or hacks, this is a type of product that I feel like would be just something to consider. You know what I mean? You can definitely find other highlighting powders out there, but there's something about this formula and the colors that works all over the face. And I'm in love with it. I also wanted to give a quick mention to the highlighting palette of the past 5 years. Honestly, for me, the Dior highlighting palette, I've talked about this many times. If you are a working makeup artist, you need this, okay? A lot of these things are like optional, whatever. This to me is a need. This I've used for years and it's just stunning. Again, if you're a working makeup artist, the way that you can mix these shades to work for literally anyone, for any occasion, any situation, it's just amazing. Highly recommend picking this up if you've never tried it. And if you're not a working makeup artist, you can use this no matter what. Like again, the way you can mix these, I've used these on the eyes because this shade, for example, is obviously too deep for a highlighter for myself, but I can use it on the eyes all over. This one I use on the eyes as well, or as like a cheek topper. I mostly use these two shades mixed. I have a little bit of those two popped in the inner corner today. It's just so good. For blushes, when I was thinking about blush recommendations, I feel like I would take you on over to Patrick Ta because you just can't go wrong with the Patrick Ta blush duos. These are the ones that have the cream and powder in them. So you get a 2-in-1 formula. I feel like the price already is really great because you get 2 products in one, and the color selection is insane. He just launched actually several of them, which I might pick up another one depending. I'm not sure. That's besides the point. We'll get to that later, but these are some of my absolute favorite blush formulas. And again, the 2-in-1 situation really just makes it worth it in my opinion. My top 2 shades personally are the more pinky shades. I love She's That Girl, which is this one. I actually have this powder blush popped on the apples of the cheeks. Then if you love that more cool toned bubblegum pink, She's a Doll is a really, really gorgeous color. So these are my personal most used, but again, you can find anything, no matter what your preference or skin tone is with the range that he's got. He's got so many new colors, and the existing colors were gorgeous as well. Moving into eyes, I have been so in love with these Merit cream shadows. They're so beautiful. I bought 2. I will be looking at more shades, which again, I'll get to in a minute. Social is such a beautiful like purple tone. I don't know, this might sound weird, but for me, like when I don't have eyeshadow on, I have natural like purple veins on my eyelids, and so this color actually looks really natural on me, and it's not usually something that I would reach for. Well, you know what? I do love my mauves, but what I'm trying to say is it's really flattering, like much more flattering than I even anticipated, because it's got that kind of like purple mauve undertone that's naturally existing in my eyelids already. So I find that's very, very flattering on myself. Just a really gorgeous, more cool tone color. And then I also picked up the shade Studio, and it's stunning as well. You can use these by themselves, but I've also used them many times as like an eyeshadow base, which is what I did today. You can kind of see a little bit of that color peeking through here. So I used it all over as like my eyeshadow base, and it just kind of covers up any discoloration, preps the eyes for eyeshadow, and you know, it doesn't crease or anything like that either, which I love. It sets, it's very long wearing, so it works great as an eyeshadow base in my opinion as well. They have gorgeous colors, which I'll get to which ones I have my eyes on, but really, really, really love those. And then we've got some eyeshadow palettes. I actually have 3 that I wanted to share with you. This one I wanted to mention because it's back in stock, but it's still limited edition, they say. I feel like Mario needs to just make this a permanent situation in the line because it's insane. It's so beautiful. This is the Ethereal Eyes palette. This took the internet by storm when it launched. It was out of stock for a while and it's back. So if you didn't get a chance to get this, now is the time, especially during the Sephora sale. I actually might even pick up a second one because that's how much I love this, just because if it really is limited edition, which they keep saying that it is, I'm devastated at that. And I feel like I would be so upset if something happened to my only one, my only copy. I need a backup. So I might throw in a backup just while it's around, but it's so beautiful. This one's so special. Like, this is what I have all over the eyes. I actually did use only this palette today on top of that Merit cream shadow to create this look. I love this gold color right here and this one. This is what you see on my eyelids. And then I played with some of the more warm tones. It's so beautiful. It's so special. And you guys are probably aware of the next palette that I'm going to recommend as well, which is a very similar vibe, but honestly, like technically, I feel like they're different. I don't think you need both. Like, it does feel excessive to have both because they really are very, very similar. You can see the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude, which is the other palette I would recommend, versus this one. You do get like a bigger pan size in this, but you get more shades with this. Very similar energies as far as like that ethereal glam, everyday, you know, mattes as well. These are so stunning. There's just something about the Mario one that takes it a little more warmer. So this one leans a little more neutral cool. This one does have cool tones in it, but you're gonna be able to get like more warmth out of this palette with some of the bronze shades and those like more peachy mattes as well. So just something to keep in mind if you're choosing between the two. They're around the similar price point though as well. So this is where you'd have to just kind of pick and choose which one you feel like you would use more. But both are beautiful. Like, these are just something that I feel like are so timeless. I love the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette as well. I really love specifically this middle shade called Muse. The texture is so beautiful. You do get a few more textures in here. Well, kind of actually. I guess they're about the same now that I think of it with textures, but this one has a little more like toppery, like multi-dimensional sparkle. These ones are very ethereal and light. So I love them both. I really feel like I need to recommend both. Something to think about too is the limited edition factor for this. Some of you might think, okay, it's limited edition, I need to buy it. Some of you might think, I don't even want to buy a limited edition product. I'd rather be able to rebuy something permanent, in which case I would recommend this. So I love both. I do feel like they're both a little different, you know. That might be a stretch for some people to hear me say that, but I personally feel like they both offer a little something different, and I love certain shades in either one that like the other palette doesn't have. So that's why I feel like having both is nice. Even though you really don't need both, I personally enjoy having both. Okay, the last palette that I wanted to talk about is a brand new palette from Patrick Ta. I actually just barely tried this out a couple of weeks ago. I love Patrick Ta's formula, so you know, I knew that this was gonna be nice, but there's something actually so flattering about the colors in here. It's stunning. This is the matte palette. I haven't tried the creams yet in this palette, but the mattes themselves are so beautiful. I love how you have warm tones on the top, cool tones on the bottom. So if you're looking for an all matte palette, like maybe you're not into the metallics and sparkly toppers, this is a fun one to look into for fall especially, but of course all year round. And if you're a working makeup artist, I think that would be something really smart to have in your kit. All right, popping over to mascaras. You guys know I have 2 mascaras that I consistently recommend from Sephora that I'm going to talk about again, and then a third one that's a little more new to me that I've really loved. This is the Tower 28 mascara. This one's really great, clean formula. I love how buildable this one is. It has a nice curved wand to it as well, which I feel like is nice for getting in those like inner corners of the lashes. This is great for every day. Doesn't smudge or flake on me. I'm very picky with mascaras, and that one has been great. I also love this Calorie mascara. This is a tubing mascara, so if you're into tubing mascaras, you would like this. But this also builds up really nicely as well, so I find that I can use it for every day and also more glamorous occasions. This one has a bristle brush, where that one is more of a molded brush, so a little bit of a different feel on the lashes, but both are great. I also love how black this mascara is. I know you're probably thinking like all mascaras are black, but some of them are like really rich black and some are just a little more of like a gray black, if that makes sense. And this one's like a rich black, like it really gives you amazing definition on the lashes. So I love that one. You guys know that one doesn't smudge or flake on me either. A newer find that I am obsessed with is the Give mascara. This is so beautiful. This one has a really interesting wand. It's not curved. It actually has like a spiky tip at the end. I'm not sure if I love this applicator as far as the feel goes, but it does the job. Like, this is the mascara that I'm wearing today. It really is able to build up on the lashes, which I love. It kind of like has a bit of a grip on it, which I love. It holds a curl, which I love. So I do really like that. I do find the bristles on this to be a little bit like uncomfortable on the lower lash line, but you know, that's just me being very picky and probably not something that most people would notice, but I'm just extra attentive with my mascaras. So this is beautiful though. I wanted to recommend it because the formula itself is fantastic. It's what I have on my lashes. Love, love, love how it wears on me as well, which is always tricky since I have such long lashes. Most mascaras smudge or flake on me, and those three do not. I love them. All right, for lips, if you are somebody, like if we were shopping together and you're somebody who's into lip plumpers, I would buy you this, okay? This is not something that I normally use or would recommend. Like, I'm not a huge lip plumper gal. However, this has really changed me. I have it on my desk just in case. This is not a daily use situation for me, but it's the Dr. Dennis Gross Plump and Repair Lip Treatment. This really plumps the lips. Like, I've never used something that actually plumps as much as this one does. So I prep my lips with this if I'm wanting like a little more of a juicy pout. I used it earlier before doing my lip look, and it just kind of like preps the lips in a way where it'll hydrate, but it also like makes your lips 2 times as big, which is insane. So you guys know I really do like that. Some of you might not enjoy lip plumpers, in which case don't buy that, but I've really enjoyed it. Also, I would take you over to Charlotte Tilbury for some lip liners and buy you Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude Lip Liner. This is something that's not new at all, but it's something that I consistently recommend because there's something about this color that just like is so beautiful and so flattering. I actually have this all over the lips. And then I went in with my next recommendation, which is the Lawless Forget the Filler Lip Liner. This is such a buttery smooth lip liner formula, but this color, Honey Rose, is absolutely insanely stunning. I'm so obsessed with it. It's like a mauve. I actually colored in like the edges of the lips with this. So I did Iconic Nude, deepened things up a little bit on the very corners with this one, and I'm obsessed with the combo. I've never done that actually before. Love that. And then I would probably also buy you the Deep Taupe Lip Liner from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is like the most delicious cool toned brown. It just like contours the lip. So if you're into that more like sculpted, structured lip on the edge, you want it to look a little more like pouty, you know? And if you overdraw your lips at all, this is the perfect color for that. And just beautiful for fall, but also all year round. So I feel like those 3 lip liners are non-negotiables. I would throw those in the basket if we were shopping together. And then for lipstick, I'm somebody who really, really enjoys just a classic cream bullet lipstick. So this is the Hourglass bullet lipsticks. I've mentioned these before in my previous Sephora sale recommendations videos, but I'm gonna do it again because it's so good. My 2 favorite shades are Tide, which is this one right here, just the most stunning kind of pinky nude. By the way, these are the unlocked lipsticks from Hourglass. They're insanely good. And then Oasis is my second pick, which is a little bit more mauve than Tide. I'm actually wearing Tide all over the lips to brighten up that center bit, but both of these are stunning. They're similar, but different. You know what I mean? This one definitely feels more nude. This one feels more pink. Actually, now that I'm looking at them, how stunning would that combo be? I want to try that. I don't even know if I've ever tried that combo, but those are some of my favorite bullet lipsticks. I also love the Anastasia Beverly Hills satin lipsticks specifically. They have the mattes and then they have the satins. I love the satin lipsticks, and this shade Taupe Beige is so beautiful. If you're looking for something a little more cool toned, like just slightly more cool toned than Tide, I would go for that one. It's a little bit lighter. Well, this one has a little more peach almost in it as well, but I love this one. This lipstick paired with Deep Taupe from Anastasia as well is such a good combo. I feel like this formula is slept on, honestly. It's so beautiful, just a classic, comfortable, creamy, high pigment lipstick. I really love it. And then for gloss, I've got this Dior gloss. This is kind of a random purchase that I got because of Makeup by Kelly Ann. She recommended this. I think I was watching her Instagram or something like that. I've got this gloss in the center of the lips. This is the Dior Lip Maximizer, and it's such an interesting shade. It's the shade Opal, so it kind of has like an iridescent lavender shift to it, which looks almost creepy and unflattering, honestly, in the bottle itself. But once it's applied, there's something so special about this color when mixed with literally any lip product. It just adds like an iridescence, but not in like a sparkly way, just in like a juicy, healthy lip look way. There's something so special about it. So I wanted to mention that as well because I am obsessed with it. For setting sprays, if you're somebody who wants just like a classic everyday setting spray, I would recommend the Cali Ray Surf Proof setting spray. If you're just somebody who wants like a little more hydrating, not too heavy duty setting spray, this is a great one. But even though it's not heavy duty, it really does work. But if you're wanting your makeup to last like forever, I would recommend actually two. You could totally use one or the other, but I'm telling you, and I've mentioned this before, the combo that I'm about to tell you about is like super glue for your makeup. I've never actually seen my makeup look exactly the same until this combo, which I've actually known about and I've been using for probably over a year now, since I discovered layering these two. This by itself is insane. This is one of my favorite setting sprays of all time. It really, really works. It really makes your makeup last. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrushed Flawless Setting Spray. Party all night, stay all day. It really does. This is so good. But layered underneath this next one, your makeup will not move. This is the One Size On Till Dawn Mattifying Waterproof Setting Spray. I know this has had like a moment lately, but I've been using the combo of this for over a year now. This, I guess, was used on Beyonce when it rained on her tour and her makeup didn't go anywhere. So that's why it went viral. It definitely is basically hairspray for your face. So it's a very intense setting spray. This is why I don't use this every day, but it's incredible for those special occasions or like long makeup wearing days. And I'm telling you guys, the two of these together are absolutely insane. Like I said, you probably don't need both. But if you want like extra makeup insurance, the two of these, like your makeup will look the same at the end of the day. It's actually crazy. Both of those are great. What else do I have here? Oh, for brows, I have a little brow gel that I've been loving, the Rare Beauty Brow Gel. I've talked about this quite a few times. You guys know me and my long-term relationship with my Benefit 24-hour brow setter, which I still love, okay? Don't get me wrong, I love that. If you've never tried that, okay, you should pick that up. But if you have tried that and you want something new, the Rare Beauty Brow Gel is so nice. It has that like kind of laminated brow look and feel without feeling crunchy. It's a great middle ground between a brow gel and like a brow pomade is kind of how I've described it in the past. I feel like that's a very good way to describe it. The applicator is really nice. I find that like my brow hairs really are able to be moved around with this. There's a perfect amount of product that gets dispersed off of the applicator as well, which is nice because you know how some of them like hold too much product and then you've got like so much gloop in your brows. I feel like you really can go light with this if you want. So I really do love that as well. Okay, let me just check my list to make sure I'm not forgetting any recommendations. If we were shopping together, we'd have a really happy full basket going. Okay, yeah, those are all the things that I would buy for you if we were shopping at Sephora together. So without further ado, do you wanna see my wish list? I have a pretty hefty wish list this time around. I don't know, it's been a while since I've like really wanted a lot from Sephora. I feel like I'm so lucky, honestly, to be on many brands' PR lists. So a lot of things that I want, I receive in the mail, which, oh my gosh, it's a dream come true. But there are a few brands that like I don't have PR from. So I, of course, like to buy makeup myself as well. The first thing that I've got my eye on, and some of you are probably gonna be shocked because I might be a little behind on this. I think I'm ready for the Dyson Airwrap. I think I'm ready. I literally for years am like, no, I never do my hair, whatever. But I'm pushing 30. I'm gonna turn 30 next year. And I was like, you know what? A Dyson Airwrap feels like it fits my 30s. Do you know what I mean? I feel like 20s, maybe not. So this is the Christmas present that I'm like, I really want to try to snag one. And I cannot remember if certain Dyson products allow the coupon code or not. I'm going to try it though. If this is discounted during the Sephora sale, I'm going to buy it and I'm not going to look at it. I'm going to have my husband wrap it for me for Christmas and it's going to be my Christmas present. Okay. Plus this like blue blush limited edition color. There's something about it that I really like. Anyway, so I think that I'm old enough for a Dyson Airwrap now. It's such a splurge. It's actually an insane price point, but you know, TikTok has convinced me. It took me like 3 years to be convinced, but I think I'm convinced. Okay, next, I'm really eyeing the Danessa Myricks Groundwork palette. This I've been hearing a lot of good stuff about. There's like a cream and a powder, if I'm not mistaken, in each pan, which is kind of interesting. You're supposed to be able to use it on the brows, eyes, face, and lips. Super cool, especially if you're more of like a makeup artist. It seems like something that would be really useful, but I don't know. I have my eye on it. The Merit Solo Shadow Cream, which is this, I'm looking at new shades, specifically Nelson, which is like the gray. I don't know, like this cool tone gray looks really nice. Also interested in Viper, which is the green. Maybe the navy, but I'm not sure. So I've got my eyes on those. I've got some foundations, believe it or not. I always love trying new foundations. So the Givenchy Prism Libre Skin Care and Glow Foundation, which is the foundation version of my favorite concealer, one of my favorite concealers that I talked about. So I do want to try that. I've also heard amazing things about the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Tint Foundation. So I'm going to try that as well, I think. I've also got the Haus Labs concealer in my cart. Heard good things about that as well. So again, I don't know if I'm gonna buy all this, okay? I just love to like load up my cart and just kind of like put all my wishlist items in the cart and then I slowly take things out. Also, I really want to try this new brand called CL. There's a tinted serum foundation that looks really interesting. Also the CL blush. So it's like a SPF brand. All of their products have SPF in it, which is really cool. So I want to try the liquid blush, also maybe the powder. I've had my eye on that for a while. I want some more lip liners. I love lip liners. So the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip liner in the shade Cool Brown, I've had my eye on for a while. Makeup by Mario lip liners are really great. The shade Travis I have my eye on. And then for me, I hear such good things about the Pat McGrath lip glosses. I've never tried them though, so I have my eye on Love Potion specifically, which is described as like a light, cool toned pink. Sounds cool to me. I don't know. So those are the things that I've got my eyes on. I know it's kind of a hefty wish list, but I would love to hear from you guys, like what you're hoping to pick up, what's on your wish list. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I always love doing these videos in more of a like, we're shopping together vibe instead of like, here's what you need to buy, because it's ridiculous to buy a full face of makeup. Most people are not looking for a full new face of makeup. I mean, maybe you are, which incredible. Sometimes I'm like that as well, but hopefully this was helpful, you know, to have a couple of things per category. So if you're in need of a setting spray or, you know, a face powder, concealer, hopefully this gave you a really good, clear idea on what I personally would recommend. Keep in mind, just because the savings event is going on does not mean you have to buy anything. If you feel like you don't want to, if you just like are not able to right now, like please know that there's no pressure. Also, something that's really good to note, and I always forget to say this in other videos, but a lot of times, especially leading up to the holidays, these brands will have their own sales that are sometimes better than the percentages you can get at the Sephora sale. So something to keep in mind too, like if you're willing to be patient and you want to see if Nars will do a sale on their own, maybe hold off, you know, there's just lots of ways around these types of things where you can wait for the specific brand itself around the holidays, around Black Friday. Usually most people do like a friends and family sale or something. Not every brand, so, you know, sometimes it's good to snag things if you're not sure, but just know that as well. Like there's always those options of just being a little bit patient and waiting for the actual brand to have their own sale toward the holidays, because again, sometimes those percentages are higher than what Sephora offers. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know it was long-winded. I can't shut up about makeup. I love talking about makeup. I love recommending products to you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed hearing the things that I feel like are the best at Sephora. I would love to know what's in your cart. Like even if you're not planning on shopping, I feel like all of us love to just fill up our Sephora carts. Mine's like always full of something, even if I never buy some of this stuff. I just love to like window shop sometimes. So I'd love to hear what you're either planning on buying or what's on your wish list. Let me know in the comments down below. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe before you leave. And that's it for me today. I hope you all have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you.